So we'll show up on a Sunday and there'll be 4 people here, or we'll show up and there'll be 12 people here, or 13, or whatever, you know, that number is for that week. But there are things that we're doing in the meantime. So we're building that community with each other, right? And we're grounding ourselves so that we can get through that week, because sometimes it's like, I gotta do this or I'm not gonna make it, right? And we're sharing our faith in order to strengthen it, and talking about what that means, because it's different for each of us. And I think when we talk about that, what do you believe and what do I believe, that in fact does strengthen our faith, because then we know, as we clarify. I don't know about you guys, when I need to figure something out, I talk it out, and it's as I'm talking about it that the idea comes to me, or the answer comes, right? And that's sort of what we're doing. As we talk about what do you believe and where do you come from, we're coming up with what we believe. And we're sorting out what we believe so that we can then strengthen that faith, right? And in the process of that, we're building community. And in the process of that, that grounds us. So it's kind of cool how all those things happen even when we're in the meantime. Right? So what is it for you that you need MCC to be, let's say, a year from now? Do you need regular Sunday service and chairs in the row and that kind of stuff? Or do you need stuff outside of Sunday to do? What do you think? What is it for you? You need both? Yeah. That's cool. It's kind of cool to, I mean, because I think part of community too is like not just Sunday community, right?
Right.
But knowing that we can like hang out or whatever, we can do a meetup for whatever that is, right? Do this kind of social things. Do you guys like movies? That kind of stuff. I always love watching movies and then talking about like the faith of them. Harry Potter, could do forever. Love Harry. Right? So yeah, so maybe one of the things we can do is, and maybe this is something we can, I don't know, we can write down, we can share it online, that kind of stuff, is to do some interest kinds of stuff. To talk about what are some of the things that we want to do. Here's what I do know. While we're in the meantime, right, there are people who are going to be at the Inclusive Families Conference at the end of the week who are taking those steps to reclaim their faith. To say, wait a minute, you know what? I'm a family too. And God has blessed me too. And they're going to be reclaiming that. So in the meantime, they're doing stuff too. And in the meantime, there's going to be the World Congress of Families. And here's my thing about World Congress of Families. I think people who hate are people who hate themselves. I really believe that. And I believe part of the reason for that is they're terrified about whether or not God really loves them. Because here's the thing, if you know that God loves you, you can't hate somebody. It's like impossible to do. You just can't do it. But if you know that God loves you, there's almost nothing you can do to stop yourself from loving other people, right? I don't think they really get that God loves them. Right? Because they've been told, for God to love you, you've got to look like this. You've got to fit in this little box. And so they're trying so hard to get in a little box, and they're so scared they won't fit in a little box, that fear is ruling their lives. Right? So in the meantime, we can say to them, God loves you. Now Curly will tell you, my favorite person. Go ahead. You know the name.
Elvis?
Elvis. Only man I ever loved.
No.
I love Elvis.
But you love me.
Well, I do love Scott. So, I don't know if you guys are fans or not, but Elvis did a movie with Mary Tyler Moore called Change of Habit. Sideburns. It was the sideburns that did it. No, it's the voice. It's the voice. You know. Gorgeous man. So there's this little girl. So Elvis plays this doctor, and he goes to this inner city clinic, right? And there's this little girl named Amanda. And she had been traumatized. And because of that trauma, she stopped talking. He knew, because he's Elvis. Yeah. He knew what she needed. And he has them bring her into the clinic, And he holds her and he says, I love you, Amanda. And she struggles and wants to get free, and he won't let her go. He just holds on to her for like, I don't know how many hours, through the sweat and the tears and all that, and all he says to her over and over again is, I love you, Amanda. I love you. That's all he says over and over until finally she gets it. And in that moment, she regains her voice. I think that scene in that movie, even if it wasn't obvious, but thank God it was, right, is so much about who we are. Because God holds us and says, I love you, Scott. And God says, I love you, Mary. And God says, I love you, Claudia. And I love you, Curly. And I love you, Terry. And I love you, Rosa. And I love you, Sandy. And I love you, Cindy. And we are so afraid we're mishearing. Wait, I'm not in that box. So how can that possibly be, right? And we struggle against it. And God holds on to us and says, I love you. I love you. And God holds us until we get it. And man, do we fight. Wow, do we fight. I've run away from God more times than I can count. I should have new sneakers that are just like anti-God sneakers, right? Because we all run away in our own way too, right? And we do that in all kinds of different ways. And God's still there, holding on, going, I love you. And when we get that, we get our voice. We get our voice back and we're able to say, I love you too. And we're able to say to the people who are going to be at the Grand America Hotel, we love you too. And we're going to keep loving you until you get it. And to those people in our community who have said, but I don't fit in the box, so God can't love me. We're going to say to them, no, I love you. I love you. God loves you. We're going to say it over and over again until they get it. Until they find their voice to say, I love you too. There's a lot we can do in the meantime, right? And sometimes that's going to mean that there will be 40 people here, right? And sometimes it's going to mean there will be 4. And it doesn't matter. That's what I'm sort of coming to learn, right? It doesn't matter how many feet are here. It matters how many hearts are touched out there. Mm-hmm. The cool thing is, our hearts get touched too, in the meantime. So here's what I can tell you about today. You're in the right place. Yep. And that you have work to do. And it'll be different for all of us what that work is. But we can do it together in community. And that can get us through the week. And that can strengthen our faith. And that can give us the courage to say, what do you believe? Can I share that with you? Well, you did you 6th grade? Yeah. Because at the end of the day, when you're worried about you don't fit in the box, God just says, I love you. And that's what we're about. And I think that's kind of cool. And that's the kind of work we do in the meantime. Amen.
Amen.